So welcome all. Today we truly have an international event. We have people zooming in from all over East Africa. We also have a special guest speaker from South Africa who is going to share with us today. So today is truly a great event. And we are here to talk about men. And we are here to discuss men's health matters. And how can you be strong all your life, regardless of your age? And without further ado, my name is Fred Gishuki, for those who don't know me. Fred is an entrepreneur with NeoLife International. And I joined NeoLife to make money, but I got to know so many other things. I got trained in the field of health. I got to learn about how to take care of my health and the health of many other people. And so many benefits that I've gotten from NeoLife. Now I'll be getting into my story as I proceed, but NeoLife is truly a wonderful opportunity that takes care of all aspects of your being. Today I'm here to talk about men's health. And this is a particularly important topic, especially for me, being a man, and reaching out to the men out there. And one thing about men is that we tend to keep quiet with our issues. We don't like discussing them too much. We don't want to be called sissies and that kind of thing. And today we want to just look at men and address the issues that we face and how we can be able to deal with them and to live a vital, energetic, and strong life all our lives. Yeah. So without further ado, I want to get involved into it. And when we look at research about issues concerning men, and it is evident that men don't do a lot of preventative health care. And by preventative health care means we don't really go for checkups, do all the things that women do. Women are used to going to clinics, and when you give birth, you go to clinic before you give birth and after birth, and even going for things like pap smear and all these things. But men don't do that, yeah? And research shows that men live on average 7 years less than women. And partially this is because men don't focus on preventative care as much as women do. We tend to be a bit reckless. We only go to hospital. If you see a man going to hospital, then know that that guy is in a really bad state. Preventative care not only helps you avoid health problems, but preventative care saves you money and creates a strong and happy family because you're able to detect things before they happen. A few facts about men. These are facts that aren't so exciting, but it's the reality, and it's good for us to look at this. And the reason why we look at these facts is not really just to scare you, but to actually challenge men, especially to the ones on this call, to actually do the right thing and take care of their health. Now, first thing is men live about 5 years less than women. Another shocking statistic is 1 in 2 men will develop cancer. That is scary. As in 50% of men will develop cancer at some point in their lives. Then men have a higher death rate for most leading, the most leading causes of death, including cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and suicide. Approximately 30,000 men in the US die each year from prostate cancer. Men make half as many physician visits for prevention as women. So you see, men don't really do a lot of preventative care, and that's why we end up in a lot of health challenges. Men are more likely to be uninsured than women. So even in the area of insurance, we are still lagging behind. And why is that so? Why is that so? And what does that end up causing in our bodies? Or what happens to us as a result of this really kind of carefree attitude towards health? Now, what happens is that when you don't do a lot of preventative care, when you don't look at those issues that we've talked about, then you find that men tend to suffer from several things. And some of the things that happen to men or the diseases that come in, we are talking about cancer, we are talking about lung disease, and other problems that come in. And coupled with that is a lifestyle of smoking, physical inactivity, unhealthy diets. These things tend to play together. The fact that men don't really go for checkups, they don't do a lot of preventative healthcare, then their lifestyles are not that good. Men, as a rule, most men don't sleep the required amount of hours, because when you go to bed, you have a lot of stress. You're thinking about the day and money, money, money. We're always thinking about money, and especially how we can become rich overnight. That's an issue that men always think about. How can I make that quick deal and really sort out these issues? Then you have all the loads of pressures that come with the family, with the bills, with the hustle that you're doing, the job that you're doing, and expectations by society of what you should be as a man. So when you look at that, then you look at the other issue is physical inactivity, where we don't do a lot of exercise. So you find that we tend to sit, we are kind of a couch potato. You take the remote and you get into your TV. You don't do a lot of housework. So you basically find that most men will develop a pot belly. The midsection tends to grow. And that also contributes to the health problems that we get, because what you call the visceral fat develops quite a bit. And then the unhealthy diets, the nyama choma and the alcohol also kicks in. And this also weighs down on the man. And as a result of these issues, several things manifest. The first thing that happens is issues of low libido, where a man is not able to perform his duties as a man simply because he doesn't feel like it. He's not interested in bedroom matters in his family. Then he is under a lot of stress. He's in a lot of fatigue. Fatigue, actually, you find that in the morning, you just need to look at men in the vehicles as they travel in the public means, and most of them will be dozing off. Yet they slept the whole night, yeah, because of fatigue. Then lifestyle conditions also kick in, like diabetes, high blood pressure, and the like. The other challenge that men encounter is low sperm count. And the other issue also is weak sperms. Now, one of the things that I have found being in this space of the wellness industry for the last more than 20 years, nowadays, it's not automatic that couples are able to conceive children. In fact, I know of several couples who have been unable to get children simply because the man has a low sperm count, yeah? In some cases, they don't have sperms, period, yeah? And that becomes a big problem. And you find that many people now resort to IVF, which is still not a guarantee because you still go there and still nothing happens. The other issue is weak sperms. If they're not good swimmers, then you'll not be able to conceive. Erectile dysfunction. This also is an issue for men. And this is an issue that is also coupled with the swelling of the prostate. Above the age of 30, you find that the prostate starts swelling. And the prostate will swell because of various issues, which we'll look at, like poor diet, hormonal imbalance, too many chemicals, being exposed to chemicals in the environment, leading to the swelling of the prostate. And this will lead to erectile dysfunction and impotence and infertility. Yeah, they come together. Then premature ejaculation, which is also a very embarrassing condition, especially for a man. And you find that many men cannot share with other men when they go through this. You just suffer by yourself. And when you try to tell other men, then they will start laughing at you. So you keep quiet. You don't want to be a laughing stock. But their wives are the only ones who can actually say that my man has a problem. Now, the other issue that comes in later, which is actually very unfortunate in many cases, is that one might develop prostate cancer. Now that becomes a big challenge right there. However, there's some good news because we do have solutions for what I'm sharing with you. And here is just a summary of the causes of why men end up in this kind of situation. One of the things is sexually transmitted infections or diseases like syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and the like, especially during teenage years when everybody is freestyle and really not taking care of themselves. A sexually transmitted disease that is not taken proper care of can later result into many complications for the man. Progesterone and testosterone becomes imbalanced. That's hormonal imbalance, what I mentioned about, which can actually cause the prostate to start swelling. Excess weight, being overweight, especially if you have, I remember my sister sharing, telling me that she's a medic, telling me that the bigger your belly, the higher the chances of getting prostate problems and other lifestyle diabetes and other lifestyle diseases, because the fat lies on vital organs in your body, which can actually make you to suffer from lifestyle diseases. Bad diet that has excess cholesterol and carcinogenic foods, yeah? Bad diet, of course, directly affects your system, clogs up the arteries, you find that blood cannot be able to flow smoothly, and this brings problems for you. Then autoimmune disorders can also interfere. This is such as lupus, thyroid, rheumatoid arthritis, may also affect the ability of a man to function as a man. Then lifestyle choices like smoking, drinking alcohol, and drugs, we've talked about that. Being exposed to toxins, let's say you're working in a factory area, that can also affect, and stress. Yeah, I also talked about stress earlier. Now let's go on a more positive note and look at what are some of the natural solutions that you can actually do to counter this so that you don't just become a victim of the issues that I've talked about, but you can actually be proactive and ensure that you fight these particular challenges. The first thing that you can do is to detoxify your body on a regular basis. By regular, I mean at least once in 6 months, depending on the level of toxins you're exposed to, or once a year. And the good thing is that we have a natural way of detoxifying your body as part of the products that our company deals with. Then have a healthy diet. This is foundational. Change your diet. That's very important. That's something that you can do immediately, that you can start on and run with it. Rest enough, exercise, and manage your stress. We do have a product that helps you to deal with stress. That's a good thing about it. Reduce or quit smoking and taking of alcohol. That becomes very important. Use natural nutritional supplements and herbs. This is very important. And these are some of the things that you can actually do to actually sort out and prevent yourself from these particular diseases. Now, the company NeoLife International was developed, or rather founded by Jerry Brasfield in 1958, whose main goal was to eradicate lifestyle diseases and poverty. And Jerry Brasfield formed the Scientific Advisory Board with the help of Dr. Otherfast, and they came up with products that can actually help you to deal with most of the challenges that we face as men, and products that can actually help you to live a longer, healthier life, and basically help you to function at peak levels as a man. And even if you're out there and you're a lady, there are products that we have that can actually help you to function fully as a woman. And NeoLife looked at what we call the wellness pyramid. WHO gave us what we call the wellness pyramid, which actually shows us how we are supposed to be eating. Now, if you look at the pyramid on your left, it actually looks at the way we are supposed to be eating, but the pyramid on the right actually shows you how we eat, because we are supposed to be taking care of physical activity and managing our weight, taking a lot of whole grains, taking 9 different types of fruits and vegetables every day, eating very little protein. In fact, Dr. Fatma says that a quarter kilo of meat should be eaten by 12 men. That's how little the protein that you are eating should be. But the reality is that we don't do that. Then taking very little in the way of fats and sugars. In fact, Dr. Fatma says 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of fat is enough to actually to take care for a day. That's the way we are supposed to be eating, but the reality is we eat the other way around. We eat a lot of fats and sugars, a lot of proteins. We eat very little in the way of fruits and vegetables, and extremely minimal intake of whole grains. And therein develops a gap. And this is where now disease festers, because when you're not eating right, if your pyramid is upside down, then you find that now your body is not able to function the way God intended it to function. And that is where NeoLife comes in with a solution. And when we get into NeoLife products that men need to use, and as I talk about men, of course, they're also open to women. There's only one product that I'll talk about, masculine herbal complex, which ladies don't use, but the rest ladies can also use. But for purposes of this session, I'll address men mainly. So the first product is TreeNN. What does TreeNN do? It ensures that your cell membrane is soft and permeable, nutrients are able to get in, waste is able to get out. When you take TreeNN, you're actually taking whole grains in the right way, possible. If you're not taking TreeNN, then your cell membrane becomes very tough, like the cell on the left. Nutrients are not able to get in, waste is not able to get out, toxins accumulate, you start getting fatigued, you start getting tired, and this is the beginning of disease. And what does TreeNN do for you? It feeds the cell, gives you energy, increases cellular energy production, optimizes membrane function. And that's the beauty about TreeNN. It is a foundational product for everybody to actually use, because if you're not taking enough TreeNN, then even if you're eating a balanced diet, then the nutrients are not getting into the cells. If the nutrients are not getting into the cell, you don't have enough energy. And even if you're taking medication, you will not get the benefit from that medication if your cells are not functioning properly. So this is the #1 product that we have in NeoLife. The second product that is very critical is what we call carotenoid complex. Carotenoid is made from 18 different types of fruits and vegetables. When you take carotenoid complex, a bottle of 90 tablets, 3 tablets a day, is equivalent to taking 115 kilos of fresh fruits and vegetables. What is the benefit for that? It boosts your immunity by 37% in 20 days. So usually our immunity is about 60%. So if you are boosting it by 37%, you have 97% immunity. What does that mean? It means that we all have cancer cells, but when your immunity is so high, your body is able to hold the cancer, and the cancer will not be able to affect you. You can actually even outlive it. The next thing that is important, or the next product that is so critical, especially for men, is called Salmon Oil Plus. Now, Salmon Oil Plus is the omega-3 family. The difference between our omega-3 and the omega-3 out there is that our omega-3 has the 8 members of the omega-3 family. And most omega-3s will only have 1 member of the omega-3 family. Why is that important? When you take our Salmon Oil Plus, it actually lowers inflammation by 68%. And that's amazing. I can give you an example. A friend of mine, I met him in the supermarket one time. He was limping and walking in a bent shape, looking really, really old. And the last time I met him, he was young and vibrant. And I asked him, what is the problem? What is the problem? And he told me that he was having a severe pain on his groin region, on the left side of the groin region. And he had gone to hospital and had taken so many drugs, gone for tests and all these things. And he wasn't getting any benefits. And he told me that if he got engaged in bedroom matters, then it would become very severe for him. And he would not be able to walk upright for like the next 1 week or thereabouts. And he also confessed to me that he wasn't really interested in those issues. His libido had really gone very low. And I told him, we have a program that you can use that can actually sort you out. And one of the products that I gave him was Salmon Oil Plus. And he started using it, zinc and a few other products that I'm going to talk about. And in less than a month, this young man who had bent over, he was looking like an old man, was actually walking upright, very energetic, and very, very excited about life. And he actually confessed to me that he is now back in the bedroom in full force. So that tells you that we do have very, very exciting products. Salmon Oil Plus will also help you in increasing the sperm count. This is one of the products that will actually boost the sperm count for a man. Now, the next product there is the essential minerals and vitamins, very, very important in your body, especially for creation of red blood cells, amongst many other bodily functions. Now, when you combine these 4 products, that is Tri-N carotenoid complex, omega-3 salmon, and the multi-mineral, you get what we call ProVitality Plus. This is actually the basis of nutrition as far as NeoLife is concerned. Now, other products that are so critical, especially for men, the first one is Masculine Herbal Complex. Now, Masculine Herbal Complex is our answer, or is a product that we recommend instead of trying to use things like Viagra and all these things that are supposed to make you a magic person in terms of performance or boost your libido. You just need Masculine Herbal Complex. Now, this is a natural herbal blend that does not have any chemicals in it. It actually helps a man to function like a man. It balances out your hormones. And I tell you, it's a fantastic, fantastic product. And it actually boosts your libido and enables you to function as a man. Now, one of the key things about Masculine Herbal is that in balancing your hormones, it helps in actually ensuring that your prostate doesn't swell. And it is recommended you take it at least once in 6 months, so that based on the challenges that we face in our environment, you find that when you take it once in 6 months, your body is able to balance, you're able to balance the hormones in your body and avoid disease. Another product that is very, very critical for men is called Cruciferous Plus. Just like the name suggests, Cruciferous Plus crucifies cancer cells from receptor sites. When I talk about receptor sites, I'm talking about the prostate, that's a receptor site, the cervix for ladies, the breasts, these are receptor sites. And these are usually affected by hormonal cancers. Now, when you take cruciferous vegetables, then you saturate the receptor site, so the cancer cell cannot settle there. So if you want to ensure that you protect yourself from getting prostate cancer, when I started, I shared with you, and I've shared with you, and I told you that 1 out of every 2 men will develop cancer at one point in their lives, and especially prostate cancer. And Cruciferous Plus can ensure that you protect yourself and you ensure that you actually don't develop cancer. So these are very, very important products. It's made from broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables. These are the vegetables that when you cut them, you find that there's a cross in the middle, like cabbages and the like. Now, the next product that is so critical for men is called zinc, chelated zinc. Zinc is an amazing, amazing product. It's a product that every man should be taking on a regular basis. If you cannot do it monthly, do it once every 2 months. But this is a product that is a must for men. Why is zinc so important for men? Number one, it's very important for your prostate. It helps your prostate together with the omega-3. It ensures that your prostate is healthy. My dad was diagnosed with a swollen prostate at some point in his life. And when I looked at the diagnosis that the doctor had done, he actually said the swelling of the prostate had been caused by a long-term deficiency of zinc. Now, the reason why my dad got a long-term deficiency of zinc is because he has been a smoker for more than 50 years. So you see, smoking prevents your body from absorbing some of these important minerals that you get from the diet. And I told him, okay, Dad, you'll not go for surgery, because I know the challenge with surgery and the prostate is that since it's a hormonal thing, it tends to recur. And if you undergo a surgery and you don't take care of yourself properly, you might end up in a situation whereby it recurs and then it becomes fatal. So I said, ask the doctor to give you medicine and we'll use supplements. And that is what we did. And it's about seven years, going 8 years later, and he's still very healthy. He was able to deal with the challenge. He's able to go on a regular basis. One of the challenges about a swollen prostate is that you tend to feel like going for a short call. When you go for the short call, it doesn't come. Then when you come back and you sit down now, you just end up peeing on yourself. So you find that today he's functioning properly. He's not in pain. He used to be in a lot of pain because of that disease. And that is thanks to this program that I'm talking to you about. So it's something that has worked in my family. So it's something that I recommend with a lot of confidence. So zinc also helps you to actually maintain your muscles so that you don't lose your muscle tone. They don't become flabby as you become older. So it's a very, very important product for men. Other than boosting your immunity, making your skin look good, zinc has so many other benefits that are so critical for men. So these are products for men that are highly, highly recommended. Another product that is important is called Aloe Vera Plus. Aloe Vera Plus helps you to deal with stress. It's a product that you take it, you put it in the fridge. When you come home in the evening, you take a tot of aloe vera. It helps to calm you down. It helps you to relax you. You actually become very positive about life and you just feel good. And other benefits of Aloe Vera Plus is that it helps to ensure proper digestion. It actually calms you down and you find that you're able to sleep well, wake up feeling refreshed. If you're the kind of person who goes out and has an odd drink or two, when you take Aloe Vera Plus, it helps to kill the hangover so that you can actually wake up fresh and invigorated. So these are products of NeoLife. You can take a screenshot and just use it to recommend to your customers and use it yourself. I always say, the best customer is you. Start with yourself before you actually move to anybody else. Remember, your health is your greatest wealth. That is the truth. When you invest in your health, then your body is able to help you function and achieve at peak levels. Don't neglect your health. Sometimes we tend to neglect our health, especially as we look for money. And then we get the money and we lose the health. And now we are forced to sell the assets that we have gotten looking for the health again. So you end up going to India and all these places to actually seek health. Now, if you listen to your body when it whispers, you won't have to hear it scream, yeah? The key to wellness is to accept personal responsibility for your health and well-being. Now, you should be proactive in preventing yourself. Don't assume that because you're not feeling any pain anywhere, you don't have a headache, you don't feel any, then you're okay. Because the truth is you are not okay. Because if you are eating the normal diet like we have looked at, there could be a problem that is brewing. You may be healthy now, but there could be a problem that is brewing in your body. and you'd rather start taking supplements to prevent yourself from the diseases that might be coming up, rather than waiting for it to come up, and then it catches you flat-footed. Now, NeoLife has so many other interventions in terms of the areas that we look at, whether it's bone and joint health, whether it's stress management, whether it is sharper mind, whether it is weight management, heart health, energy and fitness, digestive health, boosting your immunity, sugar levels, reproductive health. We also have an exciting home care range, skin care range for you to look good. And then we also have a farm product called Super Grow that when you spray on your crops, you are guaranteed to get 2 to 3 times the harvest that you normally get. And it's an organic and natural product. I know men love farming, especially in our country. And I tell you, if you're a man and you're involved in farming and you're not using Super Grow, then you're missing the boat. You're missing the boat. You're actually earning from your shamba a third of what you could be earning if you could only introduce Super Grow to your shamba. You will see massive, massive boost in your production by introducing Super Grow. So there you have it. As we come to the end of this session, I just want to mention to the men that we talked about many things. We talked about financial stress, which actually comes in, and because men are the people who are responsible for all the bills, everybody in the family is looking at the man to provide, and they all want to live at a very comfortable situation. And I know there could be men out there who are having challenges financially, and NeoLife can be able to give you that solution as far as finances are concerned. The good thing about NeoLife is that it's a part-time opportunity, it's a side hustle that you can do in the comfort of your house, start making some extra income. I joined NeoLife, I started doing it part-time. I found that it was giving me more money than my job. I quit employment to do NeoLife on a full-time basis. It has given me so many things, from the money, travel, been able to empower so many people into NeoLife who are living exceptional lives. So if you're looking for a side hustle out there, NeoLife is the answer for you as a man. Don't just look at the health side of it. If your issue is finances, ask the person who invited you, how can I become a member of NeoLife? How can I also experience good health, make extra income? My first check in NeoLife was 300 shillings. The highest check I've ever gotten is $13,000. So there's money in NeoLife. Travel, you can be giving your spouse a trip abroad every year. You can be taking her for honeymoon. I've been able to take my wife abroad for more than 20 times, courtesy of NeoLife. So if you're the guy who promised to give your wife the best and you've been falling short, probably NeoLife could help you fulfill some of those promises by taking your wife abroad just to enjoy yourself with your family. So before you finish, I want to invite our guest of the day, and this is a gentleman that I truly respect. He's my upline. Upline means that he's the person who introduced the person who introduced me to the business. So if he had not joined the business, I would not be here today. I would not be sharing what I'm sharing with you today. He's actually my grandfather in the business, and I truly appreciate the fact that he accepted to come and just share with us about these products. He's been in the business for way, way longer. He's been using these products for more than 30 years. He's going to tell us how long that has been. So without further ado, I want to welcome Mike. Mike, are you there?
Yes, Fred, I am. Good afternoon to everybody. Jumbo. Yo, Fred, I've been listening to you and so enjoying what you've shared and how you share it. Of course, it's not news to me, but you did in such a wonderful way. Congratulations, Fred.
Thank you, sir.
Well done.
Thank you.
And for me, it's always a privilege to join in and give you a bit of my experience. Now, Fred, towards the end, was talking about the stress of men that men have from finances. That's how we joined NeoLife. I'd studied for 7 years. I'd been working for 10 years. I'd reached the top of my salary scale to find that the money wasn't enough. At that stage, we had our 4 children. They were all still preschool. So my wife wasn't working, she's a teacher, and we had to make do with my salary, and it wasn't enough. And then NeoLife came along. I'm not going to go into the details of that. And we got involved mainly because we saw there was no risk. We didn't have to invest a lot of money. I didn't have to quit my job. In fact, my thinking was this is something for my wife to do, and I'll carry on happily with my job, and she could earn us some extra money on the side. Now, that was many years ago. In fact, we've just started our 40th year in NeoLife. We joined in 1983. So in May, we started our 40th year in this business. And can I tell you, I totally underestimated what NeoLife could do for us. I totally underestimated. At best, from a financial point of view, I thought if my wife could make us a 5,000 to 10,000 shillings a month extra, that would help. But like with Fred, after some time, I got to a situation where I could stop being employed and become my own boss through NeoLife. And that is such a privilege. If you are in a job situation, you are what we call a wage slave. You're a slave to your job. You're a slave to your boss. You're not free. You cannot come and go as you want to. And even if you could, if you have some personal freedom, probably in a job, you never have the financial freedom to enjoy your personal freedom, the little you have. Now, NeoLife gives that in abundance. It's probably now been about 35 years that I've been my own boss, and I cannot tell you how much I still enjoy that every day. It's something that I never will take for granted because I slogged so hard when I worked, and much of that was from not having a choice. I had to. I was forced to work the hours. Now I choose when I work. I choose when I don't want to work. And then Fred mentioned the many travels. I've lost count how many times we've been overseas. Just the week following, this coming week, we have a wonderful trip to a resort in a different province here in South Africa. I live in Cape Town, by the way. And it's a place we've never been to, but it's the kind of place that competes with any five-star place anywhere in the world. So, just have to break like that, and it costs us nothing. That is such a privilege. And I tell you, when we joined, the first time we went to a Saturday afternoon event, there's a group of about 30 or 40 people. And I looked at the people who had already been advanced in the business, and I truly thought, well, it's okay for them, but it will probably never happen for us. I underestimated NeoLife. I underestimated the power of the system. Today, I earn more in a month than I would have earned in a year, and I've still been working. Not that I would have been retired almost 10 years now, and I've still been employed. And that is another benefit because most people who retire on less money they had. They probably go and live in the village or in some retirement home or somewhere and waiting for their lives to end. I'm still very much alive. In 4 months' time, if God spares me, I'll be 75. But I live a full life. And that is courtesy of NeoLife. The fact that I can get up in the morning and still have something meaningful to do. If you're young, you might not think about that so much, but I think what kills most men, and I've heard the statistic that most men, at least here in South Africa, about 2.5 years after retirement, they die because they've lost the sense of importance. They've lost the sense of motivation of doing something. People are so tied into what they do. I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a whatever. When you stop being that, a whole part of your being is taken away from you. So what are you living for? In NeoLife, People sometimes ask me, when are you going to stop? And I tell them never, because it gives meaning to my life. I'm involved with people. I help empower people to live a better life. It is satisfying, more than just the money. But I never thought much about health when we started in NeoLife, because I was still relatively young. I was 36. And at that stage, the nutritional products, we had some, but it was not such a big part of our business as it is today. In fact, I thought mainly my wife would be selling Super 10 and LDC and G1 to other housewives, and that would be our business. But as we started using the products, it just became a habit. I today, if I go away anywhere, I spend more time packing my vitamins, my supplements, probably than relatively in terms of time, than I would spend packing anything else, because I don't want to run out. And I've been so fortunate that approaching 75, I've been extremely healthy. I'm well, I'm fit. I had two little, well, maybe not little, but two little incidents happening. The first is I ended up having to have a hip replacement, which I don't know where that came from. The one hip got arthritis to the extent that it had to be replaced. The other one is perfect. The rest of my body is perfect. So don't ask me how that happened. I don't know if it was an injury from playing rugby in my younger days or what. But subsequent to that, my son-in-law asked the physician to have a blood test done while I was in hospital. And it showed that my PSA, my prostate count, had gone up a little bit. Not much, but it had gone up. So he said, well, let's get a urologist. And I said, no, I'm fine. I'll be all right. To cut the story short, the urologist came and discovered there was some cancer in my prostate. Now, that surprised me. Of course, I wasn't expecting to get it. But remember, at that stage, I was already 73. I was functioning normally. I was healthy. I didn't know there was anything. So what I want to point out is that, and Fred actually mentioned that we all have cancer cells in our bodies. And 1 in 2 men is going to get some form of cancer. But the value of our products is that it retards the growth of the cancer. Apart from the products that Fred mentioned, I remember when flavonoids was introduced to us, Dr. Don Lawson from America told us that flavonoids, which is related to vitamin C, retards the growth of cancer by 90%. And I remember so well, he said, if you have a cancer that was going to mature in 2 years' time, with flavonoids, it will now take 20 years to mature. It's still going to mature, but the benefit is you now have 18 more years for it to be discovered. And that's what happened to me. So I went the route of having my prostate removed. The cancer was contained. It hadn't spread or anything. Had I left it, eventually it could have spread. It might not have done so in my lifetime, but I wasn't willing to take that chance. So fortunately, we have the facility here where they do it with robot technology. It's not very invasive. And now I know my body is totally cancer-free, which is a huge advantage. Now, had I not had the benefit of the products, this prostate cancer might have come much sooner. It might have spread very quickly. And once it spreads, you really have a problem. It goes into all your other organs. And in fact, a friend of mine, at the time when I was having this done, was telling me that his uncle died of prostate cancer. And he said it was a terrible death, painful, very, very severe. And in our church, friends of mine, he's much younger than I am. He's in his 40s to 50s. He has prostate cancer that has started spreading. Now, I remain so thankful that I've had throughout many years of my life, the benefit of the protection that our products give us. And to this day, I'm cancer-free, I'm healthy, I'm well, I'm strong. In fact, on Tuesday this week, I missed a step and I landed quite heavily on my knee. And I'll tell you, with ice and aloe vera gel on my knee, and it was really quite a blow. I'm almost over it. Now, most people my age, 74, 75, if they fall, they're going to land up in hospital. And you know, a hospital is a sick place. It's a dangerous place. I met a widow of a friend of mine in the mall just earlier this week, and she was saying to me that he was in hospital for some treatment, and he got one of these hospital bugs. And what he went in for didn't kill him, but the hospital bug did. So preventing staying out of hospital as much as possible. You know, the proverb says prevention is better than cure. If I don't know in Kenya, but if you look in South Africa, the cost of cancer treatment is phenomenal. I don't know how, well, if you don't have a good medical aid, and even so, it is so costly. If you have to go to a government hospital, you're in problem. You've got a problem because you don't get the treatment if and when you need it. It might be delayed 6 months or more. So people sometimes look at what they call the cost of our products. We should never look at the cost of the products. What we pay for the products is investment in our bodies, in our health. And I can tell you, if you're not healthy, it's hard to be happy. You can't produce, you can't work, you can't do the things you want to do. So don't look at the cost, look at the value. It is far less expensive to invest in our products than to have to face treating disease or being treated for disease, especially if it's one of these severe lifestyle diseases, like diabetes. They say in Africa in the next 10 years or so, diabetes will go up by like 140%. And as Fred indicated, a lot of men with a big belly, that's one of the signs that you're heading for diabetes. So I just want to thank you, Fred, for doing such a wonderful job of making people aware of the need for good nutrition. And the value of our products is that it fills the gap between what we are able to get from our diets and what we should have. Because today's modern diets are stripped of a lot of nutrients. They've engineered wheats and things. So we need the supplementation to give our bodies everything it needs. And what I've learned over the years from NeoLife, firstly, you don't get anything better anywhere in the world. Our products are backed by science that is presented in peer-reviewed journals, which no other company does. The raw materials they use is the very best they can find. And lately, we've been having some shortages of products. And the reason for that is that with what is happening in the world today, many factors, not just the war in Ukraine, but many other factors, COVID being a big player, raw materials are harder to come by. The transport of it is more difficult because you see, NeoLife wouldn't use just the nearest and cheapest. They could, for instance, for the carotenoid complex that Fred mentioned, use grapes from California. There's plenty of grapes there. But through all the years of spraying with toxins, the underground water has become so mixed with toxins, so you find toxins in the Californian grapes. So they'd rather import grapes from France, which is obviously more expensive. But we know we get a product that is pure, that quality-wise is far better than anything else. Yeah, I don't want to take too long, Fred, but I'm just reminded as I talk that, omega-3, the salmon oil that Fred mentioned, that came onto the market because of NeoLife's research. Today, you get a lot of omega-3 products. A while ago in South Africa, there was an article where they did the research on the omega-3s that you find in the pharmacies, and they said 60% of them are rancid as they sit on the shelf in the pharmacy. In other words, you in good faith go and buy an omega-3 from a source that you're not sure of, and it's rancid even before you get it, or many of them are. None of them have got the 8 omega fatty acids. There's so many factors that make NeoLife the best possible favor we can do our bodies. And then, as Fred indicated, the products form the basis of a business. And because we've got good products, we've got wonderful support from NeoLife. It's a big international company functioning in more than 50 countries. I myself have business in about 27 different countries, although I sit in Cape Town. And that is all possible because of the infrastructure NeoLife gives us. So apart from where it starts with you and your own body and looking after yourself, when you start reaching out to help other people with their health, to help other people in their financial situation, you get rewarded by helping more and more people, because in short, we earn commission on what happens in our whole network eventually. Those commissions don't come from the people in our network, it comes from the company, because as we increase the company's business, so the company increases what they pay us. It is a very, very well thought out and morally and ethically right way of doing business. By helping other people have what they want, health, better finances, more happiness, we get what we want. So I thought I'd just share this bit with you. I'm so happy to do that. I praise God for giving this opportunity to us. It could have been otherwise. I don't know where we would have been without NeoLife. So I'm extremely grateful for the privilege of being in NeoLife and for what NeoLife has done for us. And if you're fairly new, you might also still underestimate what could happen for you in and through NeoLife. Just go by faith and look around and say to yourself, well, if it's done this for others, why not me? Because wherever you find yourself, our whole mission is to mentor you and help you, because we want you to get what you want. Because the better you do, the better for all of us. So, Fred, thank you and congratulations. I see that you've had almost 150 people on this call. It's so wonderful. And I hope for all of you, it was an hour on a Sunday afternoon well spent. And it remains for me to say goodbye and God bless all of you.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much for sharing from the heart. And friends, there you have it. Mike van Deventer, all the way in South Africa, sharing with us what NeoLife has meant for him in terms of health, in terms of personal growth, in terms of lifestyle, and also the finances part of it. And we are going to end it there. And I want to remind everybody, this recording will be available later tonight. So you can be able to share it with your friends and your relatives, so that you can impact as many people as possible with this message, so that you never know, you'll share this and you'll be able to save lives with the information that you have actually shared today. Remember, next Sunday we'll be back again and we'll be looking at another aspect of health. It was great sharing with you all. Have a peaceful Sunday afternoon. God bless you all, and goodbye. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you, Fred.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Please send me the link of the recording as well, Fred.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.